Let's talk about the healthcare market in Greece. So first of all, about just under 11 million population, 200 billion in gross domestic product, which means we're looking at a per capita of about 18K, which is just a little bit more than a third of some countries in Europe, like Germany. So poor country. One of the problems that you're going to see is very, very high stress related to the fact that we have almost 50% unemployment of the young people. Huge unemployment in different sectors.
Aside from a high level of stress caused by the very high levels of unemployment and the high levels of debt in the country, really the demographics of Greece look like any other Western or Southern European country. There's a national health insurance program, and then which covers virtually everybody in the country, and then about 15% of the population has private insurance, which is usually more of a supplemental, get people not to have to wait in line, quicker responses, that kind of thing. There is a system very similar to what you have in Israel. It's the only other place I can think of that has something similar, where there are about 5 large and then about 20 small health insurance companies that seem to be more politically affiliated or sectorially affiliated. You choose which one you want. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of difference between them, but there's some type of a tribal feeling of affiliation type of thing. I don't mean to belittle it, but that seems to be the way it works, where you choose the insurance company that you want to. There isn't a whole lot of difference between them. The government pays into it, you pay into it, your employer pays into it, and then as it's needed, you either go to a hospital that's affiliated with that fund, but very often not. You just go to whatever hospital is available. They're quite, a fair coverage, with about 6 doctors per 1,000, about 4 nurses per 1,000 of population here in Greece, about 5 to 6 hospital beds per 1,000 population, and then what the government's trying to do now, which could be an opportunity, is to consolidate from about 130 hospitals down to about 85. The number of hospital beds shouldn't change. They'll go from about 35K to about 33K. Now, what I've found in other places, as well as Greece, is when people are consolidating hospitals, making major changes in hospital, there are opportunities for vendors who deal with things that hospitals need when they open. There's also contracts get shaken up. There's usually more opportunity than there would seem to be when a government is trying to do such a big project that is actually aimed at saving money.
There's very little being made here. Okay, so most of the medical market in Greece is imports. A lot of it coming from the United States, from Germany, other parts of Western Europe, a little bit from Japan. Although they probably should be buying stuff from China and Pakistan. I don't think they are. They're looking for higher quality stuff. About 60% of the medical market, the medicine in Greece, is generic. So you can really see they're doing their best. They're really trying to save a lot of money where they can, and they're struggling with this. It's hard to tell how much is being spent, because 10 years ago they had huge issues with tax reporting, and something like a third to half of the healthcare market seemed to be on the gray market, with a lot of doctors simply not reporting their taxes, and a lot of treatment and stuff being handled by cash. So it's really hard to say, but it's anywhere between 3 and 8%, depending on of the GDP is being spent on healthcare, depending on who you talk to. And the medical device market is only about $1.5 billion. On the other hand, this is a market that needs pretty much everything, and they're really trying to develop things. And again, some of the things they're trying to develop are the type of things that they simply can't do themselves. So going back to the whole idea of, for instance, healthcare IT, they know they need to get into more billing through healthcare IT. They need to have population healthcare information. They need to do purchasing through electronic data interchange, things like that. And all of that software for pretty much all of the hospitals is non-existent. So these are opportunities that you might find available. There are 2 big opportunities right now in the Greek market. One is they're shifting from about 130 hospitals to about half that, to about 80 hospitals, keeping the same number of hospital beds, more or less, going from about 35K to about 33K, but they're trying to cut down on the number of hospitals. Now, what I've seen in the past, both here and in other places, is when you try and consolidate hospitals, you end up buying pretty much everything new. So that, over the next 5 years, does represent an opportunity to people who are looking to sell things that people typically buy when you build a new hospital, or when you consolidate hospitals and do a major renovation of a hospital. Another thing that's going on is there are major projects for hospital IT. They virtually are missing everything needed for hospital IT, which they really should have as an EU member and part of Western healthcare systems. So there are a lot of opportunities in terms of healthcare IT in the Greek market right now.
Remember, when you're ready to grow your international sales, reach out to us. We can help.
When you decide it's time to grow your international sales, call us.